What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Dr. Lariat, aka Kaden Goon Mega, aka The Goonatic Fringe, aka Gunther, aka Goon Akiyama, aka Swag Skate Nakamura, aka you know what it is. It's the Great Bukaki, aka Crying Tiger Mask, aka Ultimo Dragon Fruit, aka Jacko Chandalaga, aka Black Tiger for the Culture, aka Yan Yan Bigelow, aka Big Scran Vader, aka The Big Boss Mono, aka your host. And with me today, I have somebody from the fighting game community, from YouTube, from he's a big wrestling fan also. I got with me tremendous guest. I am so honored to have him. I have with me Rooflemonger, aka Michael, aka you know, uh Raiden, not Raiden, not Raiden, but Raiden.
Yeah, Raiden, yeah. I would say right now, AKA, considering what I do for fun on Twitter, AKA Silk Song's greatest villain. But
Oh man. They won the best action game of the year. I haven't tried them out yet, but I'm sure it looks pretty fun, I guess. But
I, for Twitter, when I have my spare time, especially between editing video, I do a little trolling, and Silk Song's just the one that made itself the obvious target. And especially after the Game Awards, people's feelings are really raw, and it's like shooting ducks in a barrel right now. To be honest
oh
with you.
man.
Don't got to say
It's
much to get them riled up.
yeah, it's a good time, man. I love riling people up, and people don't know this. I mean, some people know, they listen to the show. I've had a couple of my compatriots on here, but we were talking ahead of time, and I found out that Rooflemonger was also one of the hooligans that posted on ShoreYukin.com, MSRK. Man, talk about the attitude era of video game posting. Uh, I don't think I
Yeah,
could talk
SRK could
much.
get pretty wild.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's cool to see like this kind of connection because this man here, his YouTube channel, it's about video games. He's a gamer. Particularly, I love his fighting game videos. But in every video he does, he has at least one like little pro wrestling reference, and every time I watch it and I heard it, I was like, man, I love to pick this guy's brain and see what he knows and see what he likes, because you know, every time I saw we had like a big like SRK pro wrestling thread going on there, and people would talk and talk and talk. And I just think it's cool to like reconnect with people from that era, from that website, and to see like you, dude, you're so blown up on YouTube, the 255K subscribers. That's insane to me. And I just want to say again, welcome, thank you, and welcome to the show.
Hello and welcome. Yes.
Yes. It's pretty sick, man. This because the world of pro wrestling, the world of fighting games. You would know. You remember like the big rivalries we seen. Taquito with and then you got like Justin and Daigo. You got all that stuff, and it was even like Yipes and oh man, Sanford and Sanford and
Oh,
Duckbill.
there's a lot of good
Oh
rivals.
man,
I like
so
it.
many good ones.
I like it when the rivalry is more sportsmanship, at least in real life. Wrestling's wrestling, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the FCC, I think one of the worst things you can do is try to make yourself a heel for the sake of it, because
Oh
then that just sort
man.
of makes you unlikable. And I say that being a troll, so like I understand this firsthand, right? Because when I do it, I'm not trying to build a brand. I'm like torturing my brand, if anything. But I get it because it's fun for me. But yeah, when you bill yourself as a villain, that's not the first thing I'd recommend. But the great rivalries of time that are like just based off of like good competitive spirit, love that stuff.
Yeah, because like we even see like people try the pop-offs that like people do nowadays. It's so funny to see people think they win in Street Fighter 6 and then they end up losing the whole set because they walk away from their controller. That's hilarious to me. Um,
Don't don't walk away from your meal till it's done, kids.
oh man, like we seen it in UFC. The guy walks away even though he has a submission locked in because the guy does a Brazilian tap out. But it turns out no, the match wasn't stopped, so you got to keep going. And like seeing was that Punk? That was Punk, right? Or am I mixing up with
Oh,
someone?
the recent one, or
Yeah, was that? I don't know. But like it's like honestly, it's just funny to me to see somebody like think they win, but then there's just that little pixel. And in fighting games, you just need that little bit of help, and then you get comeback, especially in Street Fighter. That's like the thing that drove me in Street Fighter 2 is you can lose as much life as you can, but you give that one little inch, especially like in like Turbo. In Turbo, like you are hype, as Street Fighter Dash. Like you when you do like you leave that little pixel, and then all of a sudden, no, I'm gonna trap you and hit you with like tick throws with Blanca, and you're
yeah,
gone. Like I or
you
like
don't
I
win. Yeah, you don't win till you hear you win. Like until you hear
yeah
that, you ain't won yet. So
yeah. So like my I absolutely love you not like that, man. I love your takes on like the fighting game lore because YouTube like has this whole thing of like people like talking about the lore, but your videos I like them because your presentation is excellent. You never sound sleepy, and you sound enthusiastic about what you're talking about. I think when it comes to like these YouTube essays or like these long form like YouTubes or sort of like commentaries on the game is you need somebody that absolutely loves what they're talking about, and your enthusiasm comes through all the time.
thank you for that. For me, it's because I actually care. Right? I like legitimately, even though I know fighting games in the end is like a competitive thing, like the characters, their silly stories, what motivate, like that stuff matters as much to me as anything else, right?
Yeah,
Like if like for best example, if I don't like a character, I'll never play him. Doesn't matter if the most top tier character of all time. If I don't like them as a character, I'll never play him. If I love them as a character, then I'll play him to my own detriment because most of the characters I like over the years are garbage. Uh, but
this
as
man
for not sounding
has
sleepy,
this man
oh
has
sorry,
T-Hawk on one of his profile pictures, and
yeah, T-Hawk's my Twitter banner and always will be. And my YouTube
absolutely.
banner too, actually. Most of my banners, I think I have T-Hawk somewhere somehow.
Hey man, I absolutely used T-Hawk in Street Fighter 4, even though he was garbage. But
No, but he was so fun.
when you get stuck in that throw loop vortex with him, ooh, it's like over because like a lot of
Yeah,
people don't play against him. So when they get stuck in that, but when you play against somebody that
so
you know,
yeah, it's the one benefit of maining low tier is your character might suck, but your character sucks, so nobody plays the character, so then nobody knows how to fight the character.
that's the best part. I'm sorry for interrupting you, man. You go ahead and continue your point.
I was just saying, when you play low tier, nobody plays the character, so nobody knows how to fight the character, and that means then you get wins all of a sudden, even though the character's bad.
Yeah, yeah, and I absolutely do love the fact that you're so enthusiastic about what you do. So like, you know, what kind of drove you to making your channel like sort of focus on these kind of things, on fighting games, on video games? I know like people say it's because you love them, but like what you do is a
Uh,
lot of work, man. Like the video editing, the recording, all that stuff, making sure everything's synced up. It's a lot. So and you've been on here for like about maybe like a couple of years now. So I'm just like, what kind of drove you to do this stuff?
yeah, well, I've always sort of did it for fun originally. Like, well, here, what's my oldest video? My oldest video, well, the oldest on brand video, anyways, is a Superman guide from Justice 1 from 12 years ago. So, like, I would make all this stuff just for fun, like, because I just want to spread the love for fighting games, this, that, and the other. As for, like, doing it like I do it now, I guess that probably started about, I'm looking through my own channel right now just to see for sure. So that would have started about 8 years ago.
Mm.
just because I worked at a different. I was emergency police medical fire dispatch,
Okay.
and the company that I worked for was bought by another company, and then the new company let all of us go, and I was unemployed. And I'm like, well, I need to pay the rent, so what are my options? And under the old YouTube system, where it was much more lenient to be able to monetize your channel, I could monetize the channel because I already had like a bunch of guides up and all that over years, right? So I monetized the channel, and then, well, it took many, many years, and I was like doing other jobs and all that kind of stuff in the meanwhile, but it took many years. But eventually YouTube started taking off, and that sort of became the main job after a while.
That's awesome, man. Like finding something that you like to do and then it becoming a success, especially this much of a success, it's pretty cool, man. And I'm happy for you that you were able to, because I know that job of that dispatch job, it's so freaking hard. It's so freaking hard, and you're staying up all hours of the night, and you got to make sure all this and all that, and to
It,
go from
it
that
was
to
it
this,
was it was fulfilling job. It was rough because I was midnights only, and
yeesh,
I'm 9 times out of 10 the only operator in the building. And granted, it's slow at the time, right?
yeah,
There's not much going on at night, but when I don't want to swear, but stuff goes off, um, then you got to lock in because once again, emergency operator, right? So you got to be
yeah.
ready for whatever comes. But yeah, so I never planned to be a YouTuber. I just did it for fun. And then I kind of got put into survival mode because I needed to pay the rent, and that's one of the things I tried, and surprisingly, it's one of the ones that took off.
Sorry, sorry about.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. We all have our coughs.
Yeah.
And just to elaborate, when you said like all the editing, all that, it's mostly because at the time, I like most other people, especially my size of channel, have like an editor.
Yeah.
I can't afford that, and to be frank, to this day, I still can't afford that. I don't know
Ye-
how a lot of them do afford that.
Oh man, yeah, because like I'm sort of like I'm on this thing. I'm doing my own editing. I'm doing my own sound fixing. I was thinking of adding like a video component to this, but I'm like, man, I'd have to go through so much wrestling clips to like make
Oh no
it.
no no no! You can't, dude. Wrestling's the worst. The worst for YouTube.
Yeah, and then it's going
If
to
it's
be
WWE,
demonetized instantly, man.
yeah. If it's like more than like 3 seconds of WWE, like you might as well waste your like don't even waste your time because like
Yeah.
they'll WWE will auto copyright strike you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's whatever. I like doing this as audio form because, I'm coming in here as a podcast, doing the podcasting thing. I never needed to watch videos for this, right? But I guess for wrestling now, people just like having the visual of people talking. I'm not sure like how that's really sellable. I mean,
Well, it's
not
the only
like
way you can monetize the video.
yeah, that's the only way because like you can't really and the way with because I've been doing this other show where we're doing like commentary for a match, and so we're sort of like doing like, oh, here's a link to the match, not on our thing, but we if it's a New Japan match, we'll send the New Japan World link to it. But like it's pretty difficult in terms of wrestling and getting that thing because with video games, you're taking clips of the game and they don't really do sort of like
Yeah,
these
they almost never care. It's free
yeah.
advertising for them.
Even if it's like from say like old Evo or like the Evos that were on like ESPN, they're not gonna copyright strike you because
Usually, I've been copyright struck on a couple particular clips, but usually,
usually, and like the work that you do and all that stuff, it's I absolutely love the Fatal Fury one that you just did because I grew up, the two games that I love growing up is we had Street Fighter 2 and we had Fatal Fury 2. And those are like the two games that I absolutely loved. Um, and when CVS first CVS happened, like you don't know like how much like pumped I was when I first saw it in the arcade, and then I played it and I was like, that's okay. And then CVS 2 came out and I was like, oh damn, this is what I have always wanted because
yeah. Like
it's pretty much like
I
Super
heard
Turbo's
about
sequel.
CVS. Like
Yeah,
for me, like at the time, I remember like I'm hearing about CVS, but it never came to the arcade. Like the guy just never bought it, right? So
yeah.
I never got to play CVS one until way like way later. CVS2 we got in the arcade. Um and that's also closer to when arcades actually died too. So,
Yeah,
to be real, most of my CVS2 playing it was on the PlayStation 2 version
same here,
because
man.
arcades weren't long for the world by the time CVS2 came out, at least where I lived.
Oh man, so we in high school we started the anime club, right? And the anime club was just an excuse to play Smash Brothers, to play fighting games. And we had like CVS2 tournaments, we had Marvel 2 tournaments, we had Smash tournaments. It was a fun time. This was like 2001 to 2003. I just aged myself. And like you sort of like it, though the gaming scene back then was, it wasn't really online as much as like it was a community. And when you say fighting game community, it was a community because we would go to the arcades, we would have these meetups. If you're lucky and you have these sort of clubs in your high school or in your college, you would be able to like find like-minded people who love this hobby. And that was like, oh man, 2003, that's like about 22 years ago. And to see where the fighting game community is now, where it's it's worldwide, it's online, we're on ESPN, where there's this tournament for like $2.5 million. Was that $2.5 million for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves?
Right, it's like, hey, yeah.
Like it's insane to see the growth. And I remember like on SRK, everybody hated calling it esports. I remember that was a whole thing of contention, like on SRK, on NeoGAF, on Event Hubs. Yes, people, I really did go on all those websites to talk fighting games because that's the community, and it was it was a fun time growing up and having all those fighting games, man. So your first fighting game was Street Fighter 2?
Well, technically, my first fighting game would have been like Karateka or Karate Champ or whatever. But like,
Ah.
and I did play Street Fighter 1 in '89 at the bowling alley. I remember that. But like, I also thought Street Fighter 1 sucked. Like, I didn't like that game at all, right? So Street
You
Fighter
had to
2 is definitely what
punch
got me on board.
the thingy, and then it would like
Yeah, there's like
do an
pneumatic
attack.
buttons.
It'd be like, what the hell am I even doing?
Yeah, so I
I
just slapped the buttons and then computer cheated and wasn't fun.
I really did like the Karate Champ, especially because I saw it in Bloodsport, right?
Yep.
Like Frank Dukes makes it look so cool when he knock you out for that game. Um, that's my Frank Dukes voice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kick that Bison wannabes. Okay, anyway.
yeah, there's no karate, yeah.
I absolutely love fighting games. This is the genre I grew up with. When you grow up in a household, it's me and my brother, but like on the weekends and on the weekdays, it's me, my brother, my cousins, my extended cousins. And fighting games was sort of a way where you sort of establish dominance in the cousin hierarchy, right? So it would be like, okay, so this like, and then you play, and then you say, okay, I got to get better so I can beat this cousin. And like when you go out into the arcades in the wild and you play with like the actual arcade stick, and like some people couldn't play on them. I think
Mm.
a lot of people kind of like disregard pad players because but it's sort of hard to be good at pad and be competitive. It's pretty hard because like when you have that 6 button layout with the joystick, things sort of make a little bit more sense. And when you're trying to go between controller and fight stick, it's pretty hard, and because of the muscle memory too. I mean, I played on both because the arcade sticks for PS2 sucked ass. They really
No,
suck.
the first good arcade stick I remember was the Hori EX2, and that was 360. Like
Yeah.
commercially, one you can make that wasn't like you made it yourself. Like you could just buy it off the shelf.
Oh man, I remember when guys would bring those Moss sticks with all the different attachment to it. I'm like, man, I couldn't do the soldering and all that stuff. I don't know how you guys do all that. I
Yeah.
remember,
I just played pad on everything till the Hori EX2.
yeah,
Like I
dude.
wasn't about to like make my own stuff. I've never been good at that. So
Yeah, but seeing that too, that was cool to see like all this sort of innovation and creativity in the community. because guys would make their own sticks. They have like the background on the stick. It's sort of like when you see people with like custom decks, right? Skateboard decks, and like
Hmm.
the artistry you see like in those arcade sticks is pretty cool. But I am a pad warrior, but I did also get, as you were saying, like the Hori EX2 was good. I loved the Mad Catz Street Fighter sticks.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. That for a lot of people, like that's the golden, the holy grail, right?
yeah, for PS3, those were it was so great for Street Fighter, even for Mortal Kombat 9. It was great for that. It was great for, going back into Marvel and then going also into like Ultimate Marvel 3 with the it is made to be played on stick. Like, I mean, you can play it on the pad, but like, it's just that stick was so intuitive to me. I felt like it was a part of me. I know that sounds weird, but when you play with the arcade stick, you're just not really thinking, and then like it becomes like I can't play grappling characters anymore on pad. I can't play on pad anymore for grappling characters. It's so hard for me. Because
That
now on
it's
PS,
different for everyone, right? Like
yeah,
for myself, these days, because I'm older and my arms suck, I play on hitbox. Well, not hitbox, but I play on a leverless. And for me, as someone who loves grapplers, I 360 characters specifically, and more specifically, characters who have 720s. Even though I mostly play on leverless now, I cannot stand playing grappler characters on leverless.
yeah, yeah. Because
The
on P
720s are not fun. And like I know how to do it. Like there's a bunch of tricks. I know them all. It's not that. It's unfun. It's not natural. The fact that you have to like grid your body and think about it versus pad or stick, a 720, you just go.
Yeah, man. I have the so I'm playing on PS5. Catch me online. You guys probably have my PSN already anyway. You guys can see me online. But like when I'm playing, it's the PS5. The DualShock is pretty good. It's a pretty good controller, but I it's so weird to go to grappling and I'm using the analog, and the analog is great for the grappling characters. Just doing a walk up 360 is easy, but I miss playing on my stick, and I see it there. I see it there, and I know like I could buy like one of those adapters to use it, right? But I'm like, yeah. So I'm sort of waiting for that new one that's coming out. That was promoted with the Tokan, and
Mm.
it looks interesting to me because I
Looks
love
sleek.
it looks sleek. I mean, it sort of looks like the old Super. Remember that Super Nintendo fight stick because it was super thin and it
The
looks kind of
advantage.
thinnish. Yeah, dude, playing Street Fighter on that sucked ass. Also I remember the PlayStation. My cousin had like the PlayStation official fight stick too, and that sucked ass too because it was also tiny. It was so tiny. Um, but it's when I'm comparing people to play on pad and playing on stick, I don't think it's like a skill issue. Some people used to make fun of people that used to be pad warriors, right? And I don't get it.
A lot of the top Street Fighter players play on pad right now. Like I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure Mena and Punk both play on pad.
yes, they do. Because I see
So
Meta win with the pad and bring up his stand, like, huh. But Street Fighter 6 has that. It's it. People sort of downplay it as not real Street Fighter because it has sort of like the modern, you
oh,
know.
every Street Fighter is not real Street Fighter, and the only good Street Fighter is the one that came before. I've lived through this every step of the way.
I
If you play what you
remember.
like, don't worry about it.
Oh, dude. Who was that Japanese guy who was in Southern California used to play Tomo, right? Tomo, right? There was like this video of him like playing, and it was Super Street Fighter, and he said like, Super Turbo, that's not real Street Fighter. I think real Street Fighter is Turbo, just or hyper fighting, and like it's like I guess, man, and people did that for Street Fighter Alpha series. Alpha 2 is the real Street Fighter. Alpha 3 is too broken. Alpha 3 dash upper is too broken. I mean, that is pretty much broken, but or like Street Fighter
No,
Third Strike.
it goes all the way back. Like the only real Street Fighter is World Warrior, where Zangief could grab Honda at round start.
Oh man, I absolutely love. Who are your mains, man? Who are your mains and who are your Street Fighter true boards, man? Who is your Street Fighter guys? Because you said E Honda and E
It
Honda,
changes game to game, I guess. But
yeah.
Street Fighter 2, definitely Honda. And come new challengers when they added him T-Hawk as well. Alpha, I played half the cast really, but if I had to like think of one person, it'd probably be Rose.
Man,
Street
I
Fighter
main Dan.
3, Dan, yeah, Dan's not good, but he's better than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 3, I barely played vanilla. Later on, I just played Hugo. Street Fighter 4 depends on the revision, but mostly T-Hawk and Rose. Street Fighter 5 probably be the biggest off-brand one because actually main Vega through all of Street Fighter 5.
Crazy. That's a crazy to go from like Rose and T-Hawk to Vega.
The way I was looking at it, when the game was like brand new, right?
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, what do I want out of a character? I want buttons and I want grabs. That's the way I looked at it. So it was basically, okay, Vega, Birdie, or Karen. And Karen didn't grab, but she had buttons and walk speed, right?
Hmm.
And for Birdie, which would be the normal pick, I despise Negative Edge. I cannot play Negative Edge characters.
That's insane. I do not like that.
That was auto disqualifying for me. Like, doesn't matter how much else Birdie fits. If he has Negative Edge moves, I'm not playing them.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
that sort of left me on Vega because he had good walk speed, he had good buttons, and he had command grab. So, and then proceed to like 5 years of neurosis because Vega's always been awful. He got nerfed in season 2 when he was already debatably the worst character in the game in season 1,
Yeah.
and just I really should have went with Karen instead. Is what I'm saying. Um,
Yeah.
just drove me nuts for years. But at Street Fighter 6, I like Honda and Lily, who are both also make me sad because they're not good, and it's very clear balance wise they don't want them to be good.
Mm.
Because if they did, they'd give them that Ryu treatment in the buffs.
Yeah. I'm using Terry right now in 6 because I'm using Terry in City of the Wolves, and I've along with Street Fighter I also, because we talked about it earlier, I love King of Fighters. King of Fighters has
Yep, KOF.
some of the best grapplers in there. I love Raiden. Raiden is great. I mean, he's okay in KOF 13. I actually love using Clark and Ralph in every iteration because they're so cool. Their moves are cool. The
Yeah,
chain.
and especially Clark will rarely let you down.
Oh yeah, dude. The chain
That's the kind
throws
of
in
character.
there.
Yeah, Street Fighter is terrified to make a character like Clark.
Yeah, I would love Clark in sorry. I would love Clark in like in a as a guest character in one of the Street Fighter 6. Clark would be absolutely a killer. Um,
They would never allow. Capcom doesn't want grapplers to be good.
yeah, yeah. But like a couple of my favorites of all time, besides I use Honda and Blanca in every game that they're in. My CVS2 team is Blanca, Honda, Bison, and I rotate between like C Groove, and I cannot do A Groove because my brain doesn't work to do the custom combos. I've never been a custom combo guy. I'm a
No, no,
guy.
no. Fanciness is my enemy. I'm just a K groove player. Like,
Yeah.
just let that. I'll slop it out till I get rage, and then rage will let me kill you in 2 pokes. We're good.
Oh man, I absolutely love getting the I love doing the rolls and then getting a throw. I just love that. I love CVS2 because it's as close as you can get to like a combination of King of Fighters and Street Fighter as you can get. It's like Super Turbo
Mm.
with King of Fighter style combinations, and I absolutely it's just a fun game to play even to this day, and I love the sort of rebirth of it because of the fighting collection. I'm sort of surprised. I'm surprised that it's as lively as it is, especially on PSN. It died for a little bit, but it's back, and it's just one of those games that I love. And I do love modern games. I love City of the Wolves. It's a pretty fun game. I'm getting used to it. Finding Hotarus is like hell, but you see
Season
this like
2 is January. Well, if anyone's getting nerfed, it's her. So
yeah, and then you I absolutely love King of Fighters 15 is amazing. It's
if you want to count it as a modern game, because it's not really in the tournament rotation anymore, but if you
yeah.
do count as a modern game, I still think KO 15 is the best game on the market right now.
it's so fun. It's well balanced. The character depth is extreme. They just put was it Vice and Mature just got into the game, right? A couple
Well,
months
last
back,
year, but yeah,
last year. But
they're
and
old
then
news now. But
they're old news now, but they're still like, they're still adding stuff to it. I love that, and I'm still getting used to, a little bit of the auto combo in there. I know a lot of people hate auto combo. I did not. I was not cool with the auto combos in Tokon. It's kind of like a little wonky. That's sort of like my thing on Tokon, and I'm happy that it's not coming out soon. But man, auto combos have sort of like taken over the fighting game world because people love seeing stuff happen when they press buttons. What's your
it's
take
good
on the
for
auto combo?
beginners.
Yeah,
Oh, it works for beginners. Like Tokon, once you learn, like, granted, the whole problem is because there's no training mode, so it's difficult to learn. But I did manage to learn some things, and once you learn those combos, then there's no point in auto combos.
yeah,
Like, it did not feel like a game like Dragon Ball Fighters. Auto combos are mandatory. Like, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. They have unique properties you can't get anywhere else, so you have to use them, right?
yeah.
Tokon did not feel like that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sort of wondering where that goes. Because like you said, there was no training. I mean, I guess the closest thing to training mode is like when you start and then you do the tutorial mode with Cap, and that's why so many people are good with good with Cap off the bat. But it's interesting. I'm I'm interested in where that goes. And this show I do is a wrestling show, so I wanted to ask you this, but let me just put a pause on it. I'm here with I'm back with Michael here, Rooflemonger. We love pro wrestling, but there's like these eras we love, and I know we were talking about this for a little bit. Michael here, he actually told me that he's been watching Territory Days. Um, I'm absolutely a big fan of Terry Funk. I'm absolutely a big fan of Big Dusty Rhodes. He's a man of the people, the American dream. He's definitely you know top dollar. I love territory wrestling. I love the old school stuff. Terry Funk, Dusty Rhodes, Stan Hansen. Give me all of them. Give me AWA Hulk Hogan. Give me Mid South JYD. Give me Mid South Ted DiBiase. Give me Sergeant Slaughter in WWF. I love old school wrestling, man.
Yeah, for me, like, well, I grew up obviously watching old school wrestling too, I guess, but I've always had a fascination with the stuff that was like right before my era because I grew up in like prime Hogan era, but obviously there was a lot of wrestling before then, and you can argue Hogan helped kill all of that wrestling too, but that's a thing for another day. But like, yeah, AWA, FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling, anything from like the old territory days, like Georgia Championship Wrestling as well. I've always found a fascination. Like I like watching that just as much as like anything from the current product. Like obviously the work rate or whatever you want to call usually isn't the same. Although a lot of the greatest matches, you could argue the work rate's better, not in terms of like flips and somersaults, but like in terms of psychology, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Because
that one match Terry Funk had with Jerry Lawler. It's like, oh Lawler, you took out my eye, and he's like screaming like a madman, and all that. You don't get that
my
today.
oh god,
My
yeah.
eye, my eye. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't get that today.
I absolutely I love Lance Russell walking around with them in the Memphis Coliseum and just like you're dirty. Your mom sucks eggs, you dirty dog, Jerry Lawler, you bastard, you trying to blind me. I love it. Well, and the build
Yeah.
up to that match when he slaps the donkey, and I it's Terry Funk is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. There's never going to be another Terry Funk. I think the closest to Terry Funk we have nowadays is Chris Jericho. As far as somebody that's worked all the different eras with all the different stars, all the biggest stars,
In terms of legacy, yeah, I
and
would say
legacy
in
and
terms of
length.
character, even though it's not perfect, Mox would probably be the closest in terms of character.
Oh yeah, I love when Mox does the Terry Funk drug cell. Like when he does like and he does a Terry Funk jab combo. Terry Funk is absolutely one of the greatest of all time, and I think wrestling was better for having him. He's he's like, you know, I loved Hulk Hogan as a kid, and then you go back when you're an adult and you watch the AWA stuff. You watch some of the Memphis stuff. You should watch some of the Memphis stuff Hogan did. It was pretty cool. You watch the Japanese stuff, of course. New Japan Hulk Hogan was,
Oh yeah,
and
Ichiban Hogan-san.
yeah, Ichiban Hogan. Oh man, shout out to Jack and JP for that. I love that. Pain in the Pacific. But when you watch Hulk Hogan, and I'm not talking about Great Muta Hulk Hogan in the Fukuoka Dome with the Enziguri. I'm talking about like young boy Hulk Hogan tag teaming with Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody and working the same as Bruiser, and he was the pin eater for Bruiser and Stan Hansen, but he's still out there whipping ass and throwing the axe bomber and doing knee drops from the
Oh
top
yeah,
rope. It's crazy when you look at like young Hogan,
yeah.
and
I always feel bad in a way for Hogan. He should have kept that finisher in WWF.
it doesn't make
That way, he wouldn't have
sense.
to have like a million spinal surgeries.
Yeah, like the leg drop. Okay, I'm gonna say this: a 300-pound guy getting that height for the leg drop is cool, right? But the Axe Bomber, that's a cool ass finisher, and it had like the legacy of he was using that in WWF. That's what he used to be Terry Funk in their Texas Death Match.
Yeah,
It's
like
like
I'm not tall. Like I'm tall, but I'm not super tall. I'm six
yeah,
foot three, right? And let me tell you,
you're
like
wrestling six
spine
foot five.
problems sucks. Period. And I'm taller than average, but I'm not 6'7" like Hogan was.
Yeah, and then he
So
became
like
six
it's
foot
only a million
three.
times worse for him, and he just jumped on his ass like 200 times a year.
So yeah, he went from 6'7". He was legit 6'7". If you look at those pictures of him back in the day, he was legit 6'7". 6'7". It's my nephews. And like it's uh it's kind of crazy that just doing the leg drop is what debilitated him. And then you look at Mick Foley, and Mick Foley took all those bumps yearly,
Uh, it
landed on the back of his head, and look, he's still. I mean, well,
it
I
took
mean,
more, but it still got him in the end. He had more than
it
a few
still
hip
got him.
surgeries too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Undertaker also can't barely walk. Now he's booking Lucha Libre and having one of the, if
yeah.
you're
So
gonna,
I always look at it like I'm taller than average, but I'm not super tall. And like whatever problems I have, I look at them and like, oh, it's 10 times worse, right?
yeah, like man, it would suck to be 6'7", 330 pounds and fall on your back for a job
Yeah.
continually. And
I
then you got to get
I
on an
slipped on ice
airplane.
last year and hurt my tailbone, right? And
Yeah,
that hurt me for 6 months.
dude, you know, I'll tell you off air about what happened, but like it's falling and getting hurt, it sucks. It sucks so bad. And yeah, man. Uh, so who are you? If I was gonna ask you who are your top five wrestlers of all time, who would they be?
Oh, okay. Now I'm both thinking about this in my head, but I'm also realizing some of the answers I might give you. And keep in mind that I appreciate the trash aspect of wrestling when I say this, right?
Yeah,
But like, and one has to be Hulk Hogan. I grew up with him. Like, dude was my god for a long time. Like, unarguable has to be Hulk Hogan's in there.
we're talking
Besides
about
Hogan,
characters. We're not talking about the man. Okay, we're talking.
no. But even
Well,
the man, it doesn't matter. Like,
okay,
silly. Like, obviously not Mr. Work Rate. Like,
yeah,
I I can I can easily, and this is not even a positive, but I can easily distinguish the wrestler from the man, right?
yeah.
That's why I can look at Chris Benoit and not feel bad, even though I should. But um, but Hulk Hogan would definitely have to be there. Well, and I'm Canadian, so Bret has to be there
Oh yeah.
because
You know,
Bret's a Canadian hero.
Bill Goldberg. Bret
Yeah,
Hart has
Bill
been one of my
Goldberg.
he's been one of my I'm trying to like perfect my Bret Hart voice because shoot Bret Hart voice is like he talks slow, he talks a little bit with a deeper sullen voice. You know, you talk about the sexy boy, the boy toy. I love Bret's promos in '97 because I hated Bret because I thought he was boring. But once he turned heel and started complaining in like '96, that's when he made me a fan.
Yeah,
It's so
no,
funny.
like 97, 96 Bret. Yeah, when he started getting more rough.
Yeah.
The next two I'm going to give you is purely on the aspect of how much they sports entertained me. I'm not going to speak on the quality of wrestlers,
Yeah.
just in sports entertainment. And in terms of sports entertainment, Snitsky and Muhammad Hassan got to make the list.
Oh man, you in 2005, you can't go on YTMND and not get the Muhammad Hassan meme.
Yeah,
It's still
I
legendary
was
to this
sports
day.
entertained.
Yeah, yeah. I love that he was like an all-American guy that was like I love that he's Italian. I love that part of it. He wasn't even
Yes, my name's Mark Capani. Like it's not Middle Eastern.
yeah, so I thought that was funny. Pro
But okay,
wrestling.
legitimately, outside of the trash, especially it became when it started, I think it's one of the most brilliant storylines they ever did. Because
Yeah.
obviously, a lot of like resentment towards Arab Americans, and the whole storyline is I'm American just like you. Like, don't judge me just because of my color, my skin. I'm literally I'm born in Detroit. Like, I'm not from the Middle East. I'm American. What are you guys
And
doing? Like, that was the base of the story, and that was brilliant. And the problem is, in being smart, it was wasted on wrestling fans, right?
oh yeah, they just booed and booed and like
Yeah,
if
because they're just USA, USA,
I'm
USA.
from
Yes.
Detroit, like he didn't even come out
Yeah.
with like a
You're
Saudi
chanting
flag
for
or
me.
anything.
I'm from Detroit. Yeah.
I like, whenever I like he did Davari didn't even speak Arab. He spoke Farsi. And they
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, okay. Davari was pretty cool part of that actually. I liked when he would do the splash with the flying carpet. I love that part because he would he take
Oh,
the
I remember he did that in TNA when he was Sheikh Abdul Bashir.
yeah, shout out to you. It's so weird that he's like one of the agents now that runs out to break up fights. And it's funny that his little brother is now an agent in AEW, and he's also an agent at a very young age. It's pretty funny to me. But who's your fifth guy, man? I
And yeah,
understand
number
Snitsky
five,
because
I'm
I
thinking
love
about it.
Snitsky too.
Number five, granted, a lot of this is being influenced that I was watching at the time, but I have nothing but memories that are positive, so I'd have to say DDP.
Hey, man, the people's champion.
Like he was one of the main reasons I watched WCW.
Dude, when he come and hit that diamond cutter like on like say Raven's Flock or NWO,
Yeah.
that was fire. Like when he came out in the La Parka mask and hit a diamond cutter on Macho Man, I was so
And the fact that he could just like, years before RKO out of nowhere, like that was what DDP was doing, right?
yeah, yeah. Is and he looked cool, man. He smoked a cigar. He had that weird
Yeah, no,
leathery
and he
skin.
has like this real 90s cool guy look.
Yeah, yeah. The cigar really he needs that cigar when he comes out. DDP.
Yeah.
I my top five is always changing, right? Because I never really brought this up before, but like my top five is a couple of guys. It's Terry Funk. Terry Funk, absolutely one of my favorite wrestlers. Hardcore, king of hardcore. Mick Foley, same thing. King of hardcore, the king of the deathmatch. Mick Foley. Also, I like Mick Foley because he always seemed like a weird guy, and I'm a weird guy, so I felt like a kind of a kindred spirit with him. I absolutely loved Ultimo Dragon. Show me a
Yeah.
guy with like 10 belts, and I'm there.
I not often's not the word for it, but for the fighting game thing, right?
Yeah,
Every Lucha Libre character, everyone says, "Oh, it's Rey Mysterio in a fighting game," right? And I
yeah,
have to explain to them, no, for one, and most of the time it's actually Ultimo Dragon that the
yeah.
character is based off of.
It's either Ultimo or it's Mil Mascaras or it's
Yeah,
Tiger
Masters, yeah.
Mask. It's like one of those, but it's always
Well,
like a Lucha
Tiger
guy.
Mask is different. Yeah, Tiger Mask
I,
is usually more overt because like King is a guy in a mask, a
yeah,
tiger mask, right? So yeah.
I guess people
Although
want to because El
Ramon from King of
Blaze.
Fighters is also based off Tiger Mask.
Oh yeah, he has the same like pattern on his pants that Tiger Mask has. And then
Yeah.
like El Blaze is more like Ultimo Dragon than Rey Mysterio.
El Blaze is just a generic mismatch of like lucha in general. He's not based off anybody. Versus
Yeah.
like Lisa in DOA is explicitly Ultimo Dragon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I absolutely man. Ultimo Dragon is and then I love like all those guys that came from, that learned under him. The greatest of all time, the modern day Okada is on my top five. And then, rounding that out is, of course, because it changes all the time. 'Cause I got Terry Funk, I got Ultimo Dragon, McFoley, Okada, and the last guy on there for me is gonna, of course, be Earthquake because I liked when he
Hey, there
bounced
we go. I
around and
can
sat on
respect
people.
Earthquake.
Hey, man,
Earthquake, I remember when I was a kid, he made me cry.
dude. So that
Uh,
Damien, when he
Yeah,
killed Damien, that's a core memory of me of being sad as a kid because I was like, oh man, why would you kill someone's friend? Because like I was like, because
yeah,
Damien was like his pet, that's his friend, and I was like, and then he comes out next week and says, I'm gonna eat these snake burgers, and he has that deep Canadian accent, and dude was only
yeah.
27 when he looked like that. Can you believe
Yeah,
that?
I
He
know.
was
He
like,
looked like he was 50 and he was so young.
yeah, it's like, man, he's
And
younger
I
than
always loved he
me.
would he'd run in place while doing promos and gas himself while he's doing his own promo, and I love that.
Yeah, I've gotta come for you. I actually loved the natural disasters as a kid because I grew up a big fat kid. So like the natural disasters were like representative of me
Yeah,
as
tugboat,
a
yeah,
fat
yeah,
kid.
or
Yeah,
typhoon, I
tugboat.
guess. But
Oh yeah, I remember watching that live when Tugboat turned on Hulk Hogan, and I was like mad. I was like, man, that you're supposed to be his friend, Tugboat. But yeah, man, this has been awesome. Thank you for this, man.
not a problem.
I'm here
Again, thanks
with
for having me.
I'm back with Michael here, Rooflemonger. We love pro wrestling, but there's like these eras we love. And I know we were talking about this for a little bit. Michael here, he actually told me that he's been watching Territory Days. Um, I'm absolutely a big fan of Terry Funk. I'm absolutely a big fan of Big Dust, Dusty Rhodes. He's a man of the people, the American dream. He's definitely you know top dollar. I love territory wrestling. I love the old school stuff. Terry Funk, Dusty Rhodes, Stan Hansen. Give me all of them. Give me AWA Hulk Hogan. Give me Mid South JYD. Give me Mid South Ted DiBiase. Give me Sergeant Slaughter in WWF. I love old school wrestling, man.
Yeah, for me, like, well, I grew up obviously watching old school wrestling too, I guess, but I've always had a fascination with the stuff that was like right before my era because I grew up in like prime Hogan era, but obviously there was a lot of wrestling before then, and you can argue Hogan helped kill all of that wrestling too, but yeah, it's a thing for another day. But like, yeah, AWA, FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling, anything from like the old territory days, like Georgia Championship Wrestling as well. I've always found a fascination. Like I like watching that just as much as like anything from the current product. Like obviously the work rate or whatever you want to call usually isn't the same. Although a lot of the greatest matches, you could argue the work rate's better, not in terms of like flips and somersaults, but like in terms of psychology, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Because
that one match Terry Funk had with Jerry Lawler. It's like, oh Lawler, you took out my eye, and he's like screaming like a madman, and all that. You don't get that
my
today.
oh god,
My
yeah.
eye, my eye. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't get that today.
I love Lance Russell walking around with them in the Memphis Coliseum and just like you're dirty. Your mom sucks eggs, you dirty dog, Jerry Lawler, you bastard, you trying to blind me. I love it. Well, and the build
Yeah.
up to that match when he slaps the donkey, and it's Terry Funk is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. There's never going to be another Terry. I think the closest to Terry Funk we have nowadays is Chris Jericho. As far as somebody that's worked all the different eras with all the different stars, all the biggest stars,
In terms of legacy, yeah, I
and
would say
legacy
in
and
terms of
length.
character, even though it's not perfect, Mox would probably be the closest in terms of character.
Oh yeah, I love when Mox does the Terry Funk drug sell. Like when he does like and he does a Terry Funk jab combo. Terry Funk is absolutely one of the greatest of all time, and I think wrestling was better for having him. He's he's like, you know, I loved Hulk Hogan as a kid, and then you go back when you're an adult and you watch the AWA stuff, you watch some of the Memphis stuff. You should watch some of the Memphis stuff Hogan did. It was pretty cool. You watch the Japanese stuff, of course. New Japan Hulk Hogan was,
Oh yeah,
and
Ichiban Hogan-san.
yeah, Ichiban Hogan. Oh man, shout out to Jack and JP for that. I love that Pain in the Pacific. But when you watch Hulk Hogan, and I'm not talking about Great Muta Hulk Hogan in the Fukuoka Dome with the Enziguri. I'm talking about like young boy Hulk Hogan tag teaming with Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody and working the same as Bruiser, and he was the pin eater for Bruiser and Stan Hansen, but he's still out there whipping ass and throwing the axe bomber and doing knee drops from the
Oh
top
yeah,
rope. It's crazy when you look at like young Hogan,
yeah.
and
I always feel bad in a way for Hogan. He should have kept that finisher in WWF.
it doesn't make
That way, he wouldn't have
sense.
to have like a million spinal surgeries.
Yeah, like the leg drop. Okay, I'm gonna say this: a 300-pound guy getting that height for the leg drop is cool, right? But the Axe Bomber, that's a cool ass finisher, and it had like the legacy of he was using that in WWF. That's what he used to be Terry Funk in their Texas Death Match.
Yeah,
It's
like
like,
I'm not tall. Like I'm tall, but I'm not super tall. I'm six
yeah,
foot three, right? And let me tell you,
you're
like
wrestling six
spine
foot five.
problems sucks. Period. And I'm taller than average, but I'm not 6'7" like Hogan was.
Yeah, and then he
So
became six
like it's
foot
only a million
three.
times worse for him, and he just jumped on his ass like 200 times a year.
So yeah, he went from 6'7". He was legit 6'7". If you look at those pictures of him back in the day, he was legit 6'7". 6'7". It's my nephews. And like it's uh it's kind of crazy that just doing the leg drop is what debilitated him. And then you look at Mick Foley, and Mick Foley took all those bumps yearly,
It
landed on the back of his head, and look, he's still. I mean, well,
it
I
took
mean,
more, but it still got him in the end. He had more than
it
a few
still
hip
got him.
surgeries too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Undertaker also can't barely walk. Now he's booking Lucha Libre and having one of the, if
yeah.
you're
So
gonna,
I always look at it like I'm taller than average, but I'm not super tall. And like whatever problems I have, I look at them and like, oh, it's 10 times worse, right?
yeah, like man, it would suck to be 6'7", 330 pounds and fall on your back for a job
Yeah.
continually, and
I
then you got to get
I
on an
slipped on ice
airplane.
last year and hurt my tailbone, right? And
Yeah,
that hurt me for 6 months.
dude, you know, I'll tell you off air about what happened, but like it's falling and getting hurt. It sucks. It sucks so bad, and yeah, man. Uh, so who are you? If I was gonna ask you who are your top five wrestlers of all time, who would they be?
Oh, okay. Now I'm both thinking about this in my head, but I'm also realizing some of the answers I might give you. And keep in mind that I appreciate the trash aspect of wrestling when I say this, right?
Yeah,
But like, and one has to be Hulk Hogan. I grew up with him. Like, dude was my god for a long time. Like, unarguable has to be Hulk Hogan's in there.
we're talking
Besides
about
Hogan,
characters. We're not talking about the man. Okay, we're talking
no. But even
both.
the man, it doesn't matter. Like,
Okay,
silly. Like, obviously not Mr. Work Rate. Like,
yeah,
I I can I can easily, and this is not even a positive, but I can easily distinguish the wrestler from the man, right?
yeah,
That's why I can look at Chris Benoit and not feel bad, even though I should. But um, but Hulk Hogan would definitely have to be there. Well, and I'm Canadian, so Bret has to be there
oh yeah.
because Bret's a Canadian hero.
Bill Goldberg. Bret
Yeah,
Hart has
Bill
been one of my.
Goldberg.
He's been one of my. I'm trying to like perfect my Bret Hart voice because shoot Bret Hart voice is like he talks slow. He talks a little bit with a deeper sullen voice. You know, you talk about the sexy boy, the boy toy. I love Bret's promos in '97 because I hated Bret. I hated Bret because I thought he was boring. But once he turned heel and started complaining in like '96, that's when he made me a fan.
Yeah,
It's so
no,
funny.
like 97, 96 Bret. Yeah, when he started getting more rough. The next two I'm going to give you is
Yeah.
purely on the aspect of how much they sports entertained me. I'm not going to speak on the quality of wrestlers,
Yeah.
just in sports entertainment. And in terms of sports entertainment, Snitsky and Muhammad Hassan got to make the list.
Oh man. You in 2005, you can't go on YTMND and not get the Muhammad Hassan meme.
Yeah,
It's still
I
legendary
was
to this
sports
day.
entertained.
Yeah, yeah. I love that he was like an all-American guy that was like I love that he's Italian. I love that part of it. He wasn't
Yeah,
even
my name's Mark Capani. Like it's not it's not Middle Eastern.
yeah, so I thought that was funny. Pro
But okay,
wrestling.
legitimately, outside of the trash, especially it became when it started, I think it's one of the most brilliant storylines they ever did. Because
Yeah.
obviously a lot of like resentment towards Arab Americans, and the whole storyline is I'm American just like you. Like, don't judge me just because of my color of my skin. I'm literally I'm born in Detroit. Like, I'm not from the Middle East. I'm American. What are you guys
And
doing? Like, that was the base of the story, and that was brilliant. And the problem is, in being smart, it was wasted on wrestling fans, right?
oh yeah, they just booed and booed and booed. Like
Yeah,
if
because they're just USA, USA,
I'm
USA.
from
Yes.
Detroit, like he didn't even come out
Yeah.
with like a
You're
Saudi
chanting
flag
for
or
me.
anything.
I'm from Detroit. Yeah.
I like whenever I like he did Davari didn't even speak Arab. He spoke Farsi, and they
Yeah.
it's just like yeah okay. Davari was pretty cool part of that actually. I liked when he would do the splash with the flying carpet. I love that part because he would he take
Oh,
the
I remember he did that in TNA when he was Sheikh Abdul Bashir.
yeah, shout out to you. It's so weird that he's like one of the agents now that runs out to break up fights. And it's funny that his little brother, is now an agent in AEW, and he's also an agent at a very young age. It's pretty funny to me. But who's your fifth guy, man? I
And yeah,
understand
number
Snitsky
five,
because
I'm
I
thinking
love
about it.
Snitsky too.
Number five, granted, a lot of this is being influenced that I was watching at the time, but I have nothing but memories that are positive, so I'd have to say DDP.
Hey, man, the People's Champion,
Like he was one of the main reasons I watched WCW.
dude. When he come and hit that diamond cutter like on like say Raven's Flock or NWO,
Yeah,
that was fire. Like when he came out in the La Parka mask and hit a diamond cutter on Macho Man, I was so
and the fact he could just like years before RKO out of nowhere, like that was what DDP was doing, right?
yeah. Yeah, is and he looked cool, man. He smoked a cigar. He had that weird
Yeah, no,
leathery
and he
skin.
has like this real '90s cool guy look.
Yeah, yeah. The cigar really he needs that cigar when he comes out. DDP.
Yeah,
I my top five is always changing, right? Because I never really brought this up before, but like my top five is a couple of guys. It's it's Terry Funk. Terry Funk, absolutely one of my favorite wrestlers, hardcore, king of hardcore. Mick Foley, same thing, king of hardcore, king of the death match. Mick Foley. Also, I like Mick Foley because he always seemed like a weird guy, and I'm a weird guy, so I felt like a kind of a kindred spirit with him. I absolutely loved Ultimo Dragon. Show me a
yeah.
guy with like 10 belts, and I'm there.
I not often's not the word for it, but for the fighting game thing, right?
Yeah,
Every Lucha Libre character, everyone says, "Oh, it's Rey Mysterio in a fighting game," right? And I
yeah,
have to explain to them, no, for one, and most of the time it's actually Ultimo Dragon that the
yeah.
character is based off of.
It's either Ultimo or it's Mil Mascaras or it's
Yeah,
Tiger
Masquerades, yeah.
Mask. It's like one of those, but it's always
Well,
like a lucha
Tiger
guy.
Mask is different. Yeah, Tiger
Uh,
Mask is usually more overt because like King is a guy in a mask,
yeah,
Tiger Mask, right? So yeah.
I guess people
Although
want to because El
Ramon from King of
Blaze.
Fighters is also based off Tiger Mask.
Oh yeah, he has the same like pattern on his pants that Tiger Mask has, and then
Yeah.
like El Blaze is more like Ultimo Dragon than Rey Mysterio.
El Blaze is just a generic mismatch of like Lucha in general. He's not based off anybody. Versus
Yeah.
like Lisa in DOA is explicitly Ultimo Dragon.
Oh yeah, yeah. I absolutely man. Ultimo Dragon is and then I love like all those guys that came from that learned under him. The greatest of all time, the modern day Okada is on my top five. And then rounding that out is of course because it changes all the time. 'Cause I got Terry Funk, I got Ultimo Dragon, Mick Foley, Okada, and the last guy on there for me is gonna of course be Earthquake because I liked when he
Hey, there
bounced
we go. I
around
can
and sat on
respect
people.
Earthquake.
Hey man,
Earthquake, I remember when I was a kid, he made me cry.
dude, so that
Yeah.
Damien, when he
Yeah.
killed Damien, that's a core memory of me of being sad as a kid because I was like, oh man, why would you kill someone's friend? Because like I was like, because
Yeah.
Damien was like his pet, that's his friend, and I was like, And then he comes out next week and says, "I'm gonna eat these snake burgers," and he has that deep Canadian accent. And dude was only
Yeah.
27 when he looked like that. Can you believe
Yeah,
that?
I
He
know.
was
He
like,
looked like he was 50 and he was so young.
yeah, it's like, man, he's
And
younger
I
than
always loved he
me.
would he'd run in place while doing promos and gas himself while he's doing his own
Yeah,
promo, and I love that.
yeah, I've gotta come for you. I actually loved the natural disasters as a kid because I grew up a big fat kid. So like the natural disasters were like representative of me
Yeah,
as as
tugboat,
a fat
yeah,
kid.
or
Yeah,
typhoon, I
tugboat.
guess, but
Oh yeah, I remember watching that live when Tugboat turned on Hulk Hogan, and I was like mad. I was like, man, that you're supposed to be his friend, Tugboat. But yeah, man, this has been awesome. Thank you for this, man.
no, not a problem. Again, thanks for having me.
And we are back with Rooflemonger, Michael, man. This is the prescription, and we talk about wrestling. And my question to you is, how'd you get into wrestling, man?
Get interested in wrestling?
Yeah, how'd you get interested in wrestling?
Unfortunately, I didn't have any say in the matter. So, my earliest memory in life is Hulk Hogan.
Brother.
So, yeah. So, I've just been in the ecosystem since birth. Like, there was no say in the matter. Like, if you're a wrestling fan, okay, I'm gonna say this, and this is insulting, but you also will probably have to agree in a way, right? In a lot of ways, wrestling's kind of the worst.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and a true wrestling fan, I think, will agree with that immediately. But yeah, um, as far as wrestling goes, yeah, my earliest memory in life is Hulk Hogan. I grew up as a Hulkamaniac. Like, I was in the ecosystem. I had Hulk Hogan bed sheets as a kid. Like, there was just no avoiding it for me. Like, I never had an opportunity to escape, basically.
So was it your parents or did you have older siblings?
Parents, it was just, especially I grew up in Quebec, right? We didn't have many English channels.
Oh, okay.
And one of the English channels would play wrestling. So they put on wrestling for me. And like, I guess I didn't scream a lot when it was on. So that was good enough for them. Then the wrestling raised me.
Oh man. So would you say it is the wrestling that taught you how to speak English?
No, we're from what you call an Anglo family. So English is the
Ah,
primary
okay.
language.
Okay.
But growing up in Quebec, obviously, a lot of French, right? So, like, for every one English TV station, there'd be like 10 French TV stations.
That's such a wild world, man. I love Canada. It's probably one of my places to go. My family's all in Alberta. And like it's interesting. And I kind of been working on my Canadian accent a bit, but it's more Albertan than anything. And
Well, okay, that people use that Toronto accent. I've never heard that in my like. I don't live in Toronto. I live in Ontario now, but I live in a smaller town. But I go to
yeah.
Toronto often enough, and I don't know if people are just making that up or what. Because I every time I go to Toronto, I don't hear that accent. So I
Oh
don't know if that's
no,
just like a meme or what.
it's definitely shoot. What that weird like when people use that Toronto Mandems I'm cheesing fam
Oh yeah, top left, yeah, like all that stuff. Yeah,
that's a fake accent, bro. That's not a real accent. That's
yeah.
people.
I ain't never heard that for real in my life. So I don't know
Yeah,
how that became a thing, but
yeah. I absolutely.
once again, I don't live in Toronto, so maybe it's in like I'm only ever in like the main area with the train station where stuff gets done.
Yeah, because
So maybe out in the streets, where
yeah,
real Toronto is. That maybe that's the thing. But
because I know in Edmonton there's a bunch of guys that really go ahead and talk like this, brother. But
everyone's got like yeah, like for where I am, everything's bud this, bud that.
yeah. And I absolutely grew up loving Trailer Park Boys. So saying
Yeah,
perp
yeah.
and hard as fuck. That I love Trailer Park Boys. Shame about
That's
Bubbles
some.
though. Uh, but I digress. So was it so you were just put in front of the TV and that's just what happened? I also had the Hulk Hogan bud sheets. I had the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior shampoo and conditioner bottles.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it's funny. A lot of my family members also watch wrestling. So wrestling's never been seen as like, oh, that's weird, that's lame. Why do you watch that? It's sort of like, oh yeah, we all watch wrestling. It's cool. It's kind of funny
Yeah.
because yeah, a lot of my experience with wrestling fans is saying, oh no, we keep it to ourselves. But like my whole family watches wrestling, so it was like funny. Like yeah, we watch wrestling. It's okay.
No, for me, I think I'm pretty comfortable these days talking about wrestling to other people. Just I recognize wrestling for what it is. Like
Garbage
it's
TV.
silly.
Yeah, man.
So a lot of poke when they'll, because I've been around other wrestling fans and I see how they act around other people, and they'll start talking. It's like, no, 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 you don't get it. Like, Will Ospreay's an artist, and like, he's a good wrestle man. Don't talk to normal people like that, please. Like,
Oh
because they
man.
ain't gonna see it that way.
Oh dude, like this is an art form. You got to appreciate all this stuff. Do you not get the history of this pro wrestling? Whenever I would take my wife to a wrestling event, like when we were first dating, there'd be like there's always this fan who tries to talk to her and try to teach her what pro wrestling is. I'm like, dude, why are you trying to talk to my girl? Like in the first place, why are you talking to my girl? She's with me. Not that I have ownership over, her, but like, bro, do you think
Pro
you're
wrestling
gonna?
fans often have weaker social skills.
Yeah, it's like okay. And I remember my wife would just like be sitting there like, yeah, thank you for telling. Oh yeah, okay, wow. And then like eventually like she's like, I've been to Best of Los Angeles. I've been to PWG. I've been to WWE. Please shut up. I know wrestling. Please just. So she's just been like, when we went to like an AEW card. She's just like, "Ah, no, I don't need you to tell me. I've been watching this longer than you've probably been alive. It's pretty funny the awkwardness of pro wrestling fans. I remember because when I first started this, I was just interviewing like wrestling fans, people who were like want to come on, and a lot of wrestling fans are awkward.
Yeah.
They're very socially awkward. I think a lot of it also is this sort of hobby, sort of like it sort of makes you. A lot of people watch it in isolation, or they watched it in isolation during the pandemic, so like it's not really a community. And to bring it back to like, finding a community, the pro wrestling fandom is a community. I recommend that if people are a fan of this, if you can, watch it live, make friends,
Oh
do
yeah,
something.
if I don't watch it live, I don't watch. Like I'll watch like clips or I'll get like a recap. If I don't watch it live though, like to me that's the point. Like I can't watch it otherwise.
Oh yeah, I like so if I know there's a wrestling thing like because I watch a bunch of like Japanese wrestling, right? Not to be like, oh yeah, Japanese wrestling is the ultimate form of pro wrestling, but it's just like when I watch Dragon Gate or if I watch New Japan, I try to avoid spoilers so that when I watch it, and you know how hard that is. That's pretty hard. But I don't
Yeah.
have any like it's hard because I don't want to go on Discord. I don't want to go online. I don't want to go to like my usual websites where I go check on like oh whatever. So, but I know not to go check on them so I don't get spoiled. So it's always funny to me when people get mad at spoilers. Like, dude, why'd you come in here then? If you know there was a big card, someone's gonna post a picture and you're gonna get pissed off because it fucks the ending for you. But I understand having to watch it live, having to watch it unspoiled. Because if you watch it, because like if I miss like say a Dynamite, I'm not gonna or like a Raw or a SmackDown or something like that. I'm not going to go back and watch the full show. I'll watch what they post on YouTube because that's what they want me to watch, right? Um, it's it's pretty hard to not watch wrestling at a later date because you want to know what happens. As a wrestling fan, you want to know what happens all the time. That's like the curse of a wrestling fan. You always want to be like, no, but I want to know what happened, and so you'll spoil yourself. But I understand watching live is the best way to watch wrestling, especially if you watch it and if you don't have those friends that you watch in person with. Then you also have those people in the community, whether it be at Discord, whether it be on Twitch that or Reddit that you're watching doing the live thread with. I think that wrestling is made to be enjoyed with people, not alone. But I
No, no,
always
it's the best way. Like
yeah,
for me, most of the time, like just in my life in general, right? If I'm watching wrestling, I'm watching it with friends. And
obvious.
if I'm not watching with friends, then I just read a recap because like that's part of the experience to me is to be enjoying it with friends.
Yeah, yeah, it's because I went to Survivor Series, right? Like, was it about 2 weeks ago? And then I go online and it's like, yeah, so I attended Survivor Series, it's pretty fun. And then, everybody's shitting on it as the worst show ever. Even WWE fans are shitting on it as the worst show ever. But I'm like, it was pretty fun. And like, I think like if people don't watch things in the moment, there's a ways to watch wrestling. And if you're watching in the moment and if it's not fun for you, then it's not fun. And I also think that a lot of wrestling is better to watch live in person than it is to watch on TV because, I can't imagine going to like a WWE event and or watching it at home and you're waiting there for 15 minutes for the commercial breaks. It's so weird the way they do
Hmm.
pay-per-views now. It's like four matches and like 20 minutes of commercials between them. Uh, so it's gonna be and I've been like a fan like you. I've been a fan for like almost like my whole life. So it's kind of weird that that's how WWE is now. AEW, like you said, a lot of their fan base is kind of like is pretty funny. Oh no, you're not enjoying wrestling the right way. You're not watching it the right. If you don't like this, then you don't like wrestling. And I'm just like, who are you to
I've
say
long
that?
come to peace with this, right?
Yeah,
Like, say of the more modern, well, not even really. Like, I'll just label you one of my favorite acts of all time to tell you how come to peace I am with the art of wrestling. One of my favorite sports entertainers of all time is Gene Snitsky.
it wasn't my fault.
Yes. So
Yes.
was Snitsky a bad wrestler? Yeah. Could he talk? Like, no, he couldn't, right? But it was just the best kind of trash garbage wrestling could put out. And eventually, somewhere along the line, my brain broke, and I started appreciating that aspect of wrestling a lot more.
Dude, when
So,
when Snitsky was the foot freak, man, that was good TV.
but
When he
like,
was
oh no, Lita had to have her baby aborted because Snitsky killed her baby or whatever. Like that's peak wrestling. Like, is it bad? Yeah, it's not good. It's not good, but it is peak wrestling, right? For good or for ill.
where else can you find someone that was forced to have sex with a demon from hell to birth
Yeah,
a
and the fact
demon
that during that
baby?
storyline, Kane started as the heel, and eventually he became the face.
Yeah.
Like none of the events changed. Like what happened, right?
Yeah, he
Like
he
Kane forced himself on Lita, and that's why they had the baby. And then all of a sudden, he's the face by the end of it.
yeah, he's the face. Edge steals Lita. Matt
And
Hardy comes
then
out.
later with Edge, yeah. Then later with that, because once again, Trainwreck TV, right?
Yeah.
Then later with Edge, Lita invited Snitsky to their wedding.
Oh man.
Like once again, that's the dog poop worst. But
Love it. I loved
that's
it.
wrestling.
I loved how trashy wrestling can be, man. There's
Yeah. So
nothing else
like
in the
when you say
world.
like, oh, Will Osprey 5-star machine or whatever, like yeah, I'll like a good Will Osprey match or whatever. Like, but like the train wreck part of wrestling, eventually I just learned to love the slop of it.
Mm. You know, eh,
And that's why, unfortunately, that's why I don't like modern WWE that much. Because like I can't even get the so bad it's good enjoyment out of it. It's just kind of bad to
boring.
me.
It's just it's
Like
just
it's not
boring.
all bad. I'm not here to say the whole product's worth less, but
Yeah.
like you better believe, even like screw watching the show on the screen on my monitor, I see the words Jay Uso, my eyes roll in the back of my head.
Oh man. It was so funny, man. When I see CM Punk trying to act like he when I see CM Punk come on my screen and Michael Cole says he's in his prime at 47 years old,
That
I
this young
laugh.
man, this young 50-year-old man or whatever he is now.
Yeah, it's like because like I remember watching SummerSlam. He's fighting Gunther, and Michael Cole's like, it's one thing to be Goldberg in the twilight of his career. It's another to face CM Punk, the best in the world, in the prime. I'm like, he's like he's like 8 years older than CM Punk. CM Punk's almost 50. What do you mean prime? And like you
Okay,
go
you know what? Okay,
some
this is one of the things. This is why I don't talk too much publicly about wrestling, because I don't have opinions that tend to meld well with the mainstream.
yeah.
I would argue CM Punk never had a prime to begin with.
I'm with you there, brother. I fucking hated him.
He
He
debuted debuted ECW, I guess, but like
yeah.
even screw that Ring of Honor, he just showed up washed up from the start.
Dude, he has no career without watching a Kenta tape.
No, he does like he has no career without hanging on the coattails of people better than him.
Dude. And when he was in Ring of Honor, he has no career without doing Keiji Muto spots, like, and Triple H's finisher. Like I'm so done with people talking about like, oh, he's been the best in the world. I mean, he could talk shit. That's great. He could talk shit, but like, I would never was a fan of his in ring. I
He's
never
the
like
best in
he's
the world at being a big complainer crybaby. Better than Triple H, even maybe. Minus the
oh man.
politicking.
Oh, what's it that one guy said? This one guy said on the internet that CM Punk has the best contract and is the biggest politician. That guy was fucking. Oh, sorry for cursing, but like that guy was definitely um in CM Punk was definitely in his DMs and told him to say all this stuff. And I'm just like CM Punk, probably one of the least wrestlers, especially I'm so happy Brian Danielson got that run because his ass decided to quit. Like and I was like,
Yeah, that last
great,
run he had in AEW was fantastic. Yeah.
yeah. Like, and again, like CM Punk quit, and then Brian Danielson was able to, right the ship just like he did in WWE when CM Punk quit. No, Brian
Yep.
Danielson righted the ship,
Makes you
and
wonder who the problem is.
yeah, and I absolutely love this. Like, and the thing about this. Right. So I'm not gonna say where my Discord is or give a link because that's not for the public. But like in my personal Discord, I love that we don't talk about wrestling, and I'm purposely. I know it's funny. I have a wrestling podcast, but I don't discuss wrestling in my Discord because pro wrestling debates get way too personal, and people get way too into it and way too in the weeds about it. It's weird
Yeah.
how toxic pro wrestling fandom is to each other. People talk about fighting game fandom like, oh, we're hooligans, we say all this stuff, but like, no, pro wrestling. If you just have one different opinion than somebody and you agree on everything else, but just one thing you guys can't come to agreement on, it's war, and it's like it's so stupid how people get angry just because you say, oh, I like New Japan better than AEW. No, WWE is better than blah blah blah. Like you just say one thing like that.
It's why, granted, like I realize like I'm technically a more public facing figure and all that, right?
Yeah,
But that's why I don't really engage with wrestling on Twitter or public facing things,
good for you, man.
because people are crazy. Wrestling fans are the worst.
Oh man, they will
Like
stalk you, dude.
yeah, like
they will dox you. It's
I'm saying
crazy.
the last two times I talked on publicly about wrestling on Twitter. So I was at AEW All Out in Toronto, wherever a couple months ago that was. That was great. So
Hmm.
I did mention that. And I ain't getting any particulars. And then the last time I said anything about wrestling before that would have been like when Tony Khan fired Punk. And I just quoted and said, ha 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 ha. And that was it.
Oh man, you deserve it. I was so happy, and then to see him show up, basically on his knees, to WWE after talking all that shit, and then
Oh, yeah. No, I love it because he proved himself everything I've always known about him, that he's a monster hypocrite.
oh man, going to Saudi Arabia and being taking part in that propaganda shit with that fan who wasn't a really fan, that guy was a plant, and shaking his hand and basically apologizing to the Kingdom of Saudi
See, that's the
Arabia.
thing, too.
I
Like, in
laughed.
the context of FGC, right? FGC context, people
Yeah,
are really up in arms about Saudi Arabia stuff. The way
yeah,
I look at it, there's one thing to take the Saudi money when like you're not rich, like because a lot of people in FGC they're not rich. They take the Saudi money for
nah.
esports or whatever. Like I'm not going to blame them because they got to pay the rent. But when you're already a millionaire, that's different, you know. Like
Yeah, like when you see Dave Chappelle, when you see Bill Burr, take
Yeah.
that money, even though like they're
And it's
super
funny,
like
I've been accused of taking the Saudi money multiple times, and like I sort of wish, because like then I could pay my rent with it, right? I've never gotten anything from them. They've never even talked to me,
uh,
right? So when the
Justin
time
and
comes,
his
if like
Justin and his Saudi Arabia. No, I just love Saudi
okay,
Arabia. That was
legit,
funny.
okay, legit, because I talk to Justin all the time, right?
Yeah,
He never even thought of the context of that. He just takes travelogues wherever he goes.
yeah.
Like
I
he
was
wasn't
like,
paid for that or nothing like that. He just did it, and
dude,
then obviously when everyone turned on him, then he realized it was a bad idea. But
if he was paid for that, that would have been way more slicker. There would have been like it would have been
no,
produced
no, but he,
with.
he just takes travelogues wherever he goes. Like that's just what
Yeah,
he does. Like he does it for every place. Like so,
yeah. I'm just like, dude, if he was paid for that, it would have looked way better than that. It would have been they would have chosen he would have chosen a way better thumbnail for his video than that. Um,
yeah,
but it's just like if shout out to you, Justin, great guy. I mean,
like I said, I
he
love Justin. He'll give you the shirt off his back.
new Canadian guy. He lives he's over in Canada now. But
Hey,
like
he
it's
is like he displaced me now that he's a naturalized Canadian because I'm no longer the most famous fighting game Canadian because now
oh
he is
man,
technically.
yeah. Brock Lesnar of Canada. Not in a bad way. Anyway, I just I I think when it comes to like because I talked to Justin, he's a real pro wrestling fan. He really actually does love John Cena. Like
Oh no, okay, I'll tell you a Justin story. So the first time I ever met Justin was long before like anyone knew my name or the brand or
yeah. Oh,
because I was wearing at the time I was wearing a Rusev shirt.
mm,
And this is when Rusev was feuding with Cena, right? And
yeah.
he flagged me down to bitch me out saying Cena's gonna beat Rusev and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Like he really is into Cena on a crazy level.
Like cuz when Cena was coming up, he was a kid. So like he was literally like I think like
He's like only a year younger than me. He ain't a kid.
no, but I mean like when Cena was coming up, he was like a teenager. So he kind of like grew with like, the hip hop scene cuz like he
I don't
knows
know about
about
that either.
he
He just turned 40 a couple weeks ago.
oh dude, I grew up with the hip hop Cena. Actually Ruthless Aggression Cena, the slapping Cena. It's it's sort of weird when you think about how far Cena goes back 2002 because Justin he talks about Attitude Era stuff sometimes, but like I know he was a legit John
For
Cena
me,
fan. It's
the way I
funny.
look at eras, I've had eras where I just quit wrestling entirely,
Yeah,
and Cena is responsible for one of those eras of me just not watching wrestling anymore for years.
that's fine.
Um, I I didn't like I like Cena now, but this is like during a lot of the Super Cena stuff.
Oh yeah.
And my breaking point was when he beat Edge in Toronto, and I just stopped watching
Uh,
for years.
the
That was
TLC
my breaking
match.
point. Yeah,
That was
because
a sick
obviously
match
Edge
too.
Canadian, Toronto,
Yeah,
I'm Canadian, blah blah blah. But like that was my check-in. You make Edge lose in Toronto, I'm done.
man, that was actually one of my favorite things about it. One of his favorite feuds is that because Edge would beat him sometimes, but good guy conquers. I love the Umaga
And yeah.
matches, the Umaga John
Yeah,
Cena matches,
that's some of his best
bloodbaths.
stuff back when he wasn't that good, in my opinion. But back those matches were good.
Yeah, the Umaga match,
Then
the
I came back.
JBL I Quit match was insane to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, that was excellent. Yep.
But
But yeah, I quit for a long time. I came back actually the day I didn't plan anything, but it was the day the Shield debuted is when I came back
wow,
into wrestling after all those years.
wow.
And then I watched again for years and years until I got so sick of Big Dog Roman Reigns when he went solo that I quit
Ac-
again for a few years.
Acknowledge me, Shun
I
Goku.
think actually it was AEW that brought me back. AEW is what
Oh,
brought me back.
all right, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. AEW brought a lot of people back, and I've talked to a lot of people that sort of fell off with AEW because it wasn't what they wanted.
AEW's been there's ups and downs in AEW's,
Yeah,
right? Like I'm not here to say it's perfect, but like the a new federation starting was like, okay, that's enough juice for me to let's see if I want to get back into wrestling again. And
yeah,
since then, I've been mostly with it the whole time. Like I don't watch everything every week. Like I said, a lot of times I'll just watch recaps or listen to recaps
yeah.
because the job I do, unfortunately, one of the downsides is it is total. Like there is no days off in what I do. Every day is a work day.
Man.
So sometimes I just don't have time to watch wrestling. But I've been
Yeah,
on ever since mostly.
dude. I've sort of. So when I started doing this podcast thing, I think now I'm up to 101 different kind of things. I've released 101 shows.
Nice.
I can't and I know I have to listen back to my shit, so I haven't been able to like listen to like some of my favorite I listen to some podcasts here and there while I'm editing, but like it's hard to listen to other people's shit when you're doing your own. Um,
No, no,
that
that's the thing. Like for me, like fighting game stuff, right?
yeah
I try to. It's not that I don't watch other people's stuff. I do usually, but I always make
yeah
sure to watch it like on delay because I don't want to be influenced by anything else.
yeah. I like to be informed about stuff when because I do a wrestling news show, right? State of wrestling. That's like my I do this interview show. This is like my favorite thing because like I like to talk to people, connect, find out more about you as a person. And then like I do the news show where like I cover like what's happening. We cover like the WBD merger. We cover like ESPN, all that stuff. And like you kind of have on that end, you have to keep yourself informed, whether that be, shout out to you, Dave, the Wrestling Observer, or listen to like podcasts where they cover this kind of stuff. And I've figured out at this point that there's a lot of pro wrestling trash. Um, I love that Dave sort of brought this up on his Twitter account. He called them fraudcasters, those guys who
Yeah.
bank on doing like, oh no, this promotion sucks, all this sucks. Pro wrestling, modern pro wrestling sucks. Blah 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 blah. The
Oh
Eric
yeah. Wait a
Bischoffs of the
second.
world.
I just realized this is yeah. Sorry, not to interrupt, but like this is a wrestling podcast, I guess normally. So like I don't care about starting wrestling drama. Like that one guy, sloppest garbage ever, JD from NY or whatever his name
Oh
is.
my God, trash,
That guy
trash.
sucks.
Oh man, I don't know how he has so many people listening to him complain.
Because he just
Like
cries about AEW, and there's enough people butthurt about AEW because
they
Sasha
exist.
Banks kicked him out of an indie show or whatever that one time, and
Well,
he's been
yeah.
sad about it ever since.
Why would she want that gross dude around her? And then why is he not mad at the promoter for kicking him out? Like you're mad at Sasha, but shouldn't she be? Why are you going back to work for them if they kicked you out for Sasha? Sorry,
Like
for
that
Sasha
dude's
from
the
Mercedes.
wrestling
Sorry.
equivalent of like a video game grifter to me.
Absolutely, absolutely. The grifter, wrestling grifting, video game grifting sort of space is it's like a flat circle. It's the Venn diagram is like just one circle. I don't believe like a lot of wrestling. I might get heat for that, but fuck it. Like a lot of guys who cover wrestling actually don't like wrestling. They like that wrestling fans, or at least the bots. They are. It's easy to manipulate the algorithm to bring viewers to your stuff, especially if you're doing a certain style of show. And like that's why a guy from JD he does
They
all the
like making ad
complaining.
revenue off of them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy and like I don't know like how you could have the sort of to keep going of being angry. Like how much anger do you have? How much of this is genuine? Because to me the best things to listen to are the most successful podcasts, the most successful YouTubes are usually things that people are very enthusiastic about what they do. Like what you do, man, it's great. And that you have like more than a quarter million followers on YouTube, and then you got that 43 on like on Twitter. That's amazing. That many people follow you. That many people love what you do, and then the countless amount of people that give you views on your stuff, like, and it's because you're genuine. And I think that's the thing that people miss, that people really like, and that's what makes you a success. But a guy like JD from New York who just complains and bitches and moans, and he gets that many viewers, and like Cornette too to a point. But like when I used to listen to Cornette,
Oh,
I
Cornette's
love
hard because like yeah, I
when he talks
appreciate the
about stuff.
historical weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he talks about the historical stuff that he was involved in or like that he was a fan of, great stuff, eye-opening stuff, like stuff that he was backstage for. Like that's interesting. When he shits on the Young Bucks for like or Kenny Omega and uses like basically uses homophobic slurs towards these wrestlers, it's disgusting. Like I can't listen to that stuff. Like, why are we doing that? And then why does he have so many people that love to be in that shit? It's not something that I actually it's just I don't get it. But there's listeners that love that stuff, and if you can manipulate people by just being a jackass, then I guess kudos to you, but that doesn't sound fulfilling to me. Maybe
It's
because
basically whatever pays the bills. That's kind of how we
yeah,
look at it.
yeah, I guess, man, but I can't I guess I can't fault people for making money like that, but I'm just like, I don't think I could. I don't think I could do that. But I guess I don't spend a lot of my time complaining about a lot of stuff because I'm just kind of happy to be
Uh,
here. I love I love. I'm about to make a lot of people who hate their lives sound miserable with me. I love my life. I love that. I love my family. I love my wife. I love that I can play video games online when I want to. I love that I'm talking to the one, the only Rooflemonger. I love that we shared this connection over pro wrestling and and fighting games. And I think that these connections that people make in life, you never know where they come from. So like you were you're very amicable. You got your contacts out there, and it wasn't difficult to get you on, but like I gotta tell you, man, like I know we're the same age, but like it's just like, bro, this rules. I love talking to you, man. This is something that I love about the show is making these connections with people that you didn't know, and we just met each other, and like, dude, it feels like we've known each other.
yeah, well, knowing wrestling, that's one thing we talk about wrestling fans being socially awkward to a degree rather, but it,
Yeah,
it does give a shared history, right?
yeah,
Even if you're on whatever side of the fence, because like I'm sure I made some people mad saying I don't like CM Punk, and that's fine. And like, um, I I just don't like CM. I've never liked. Anyways. But
uh,
yeah, fans have the shared history. But like for me, like I said before, like I'm just a regular guy. Like I sit here in my small apartment in the middle of the meth part of town. Like it ain't no gilded mansion. I'm just a regular dude. I only wound up doing YouTube because my other job got bought out and we all got let go. Like it's definitely not a career path I chose, or at least rather one I planned for.
yeah. Um, but again, man, it's it's really interesting. I love the work that you do. And you know, I I just like the thing about if you didn't like fighting games, if you didn't like pro wrestling, I probably wouldn't have had that interest in like talking to you. And here we are talking, man. If we never
Yeah,
both,
I don't get.
if what's that?
I was gonna say I don't get to talk about wrestling much, although due to me walking myself in the corner, I have my own podcast where we cover the Hunter x Hunter anime because
Okay.
I walked myself in the corner saying if there's gonna be a show or rather a fighting game, I'd watch the show. And we're almost done that actually. But I talk about wrestling too much on that. But normally, I don't talk about wrestling at all in the public. Usually,
Oh yeah. Well, Hunter x Hunter has a couple of like has that tournament arc where it feels pretty pro wrestling, but they're like 7, 12-year-old kids, I think. That shit is so
yeah,
good
they're
to me.
they're 10, 11, 12, 13, something like that. They're kids.
Yeah, they're kids, and then they're fighting adults, but they're super powered and all that stuff. Yeah, I think it's funny.
It's silly, and we had grand ideas because Lord knows we didn't anticipate the fighting, like didn't impact the fighting game. It basically died the day it came out,
Yeah,
and now we spent like half a year doing this podcast for a game that died on day one.
that's funny, man. But a lot of people love Hunter x Hunter.
The few people that stuck by it, like they're having fun watching myself get through it because just like I got old man opinions on wrestling, I got old man opinions on anime, and just like everything was better back in the day, right? So, but yeah, so I don't get to talk about wrestling much. I guess just if someone's not been already riled up, I do think AEW is better than WWE right now, so that'll make
Yeah,
somebody mad.
yeah.
Um,
I like the C2 tournament. I like the format of it. I like the wrestlers they chose for it. It's a fun watch. When AEW gets away from doing doing wrestling, really cool pro wrestling matches, it gets really tedious to watch. I am not a fan of MJF.
Yeah, AW strength is like they're just better at wrestling.
Yeah. If if you could make your characters like I like Hangman, I like Swerve, keep them doing good shit, but then also put them in really cool matches, I'm set. But if you just do a lot of like the Gaga stuff, you just become sort of WWE like, which they were for a couple months, a couple years even. And like
Yeah,
you're
they find their way and lose their way, but then they always get back.
yeah, you know, Moxley bleeding tends to be like the fix for everything. So, you know,
Yeah, the blood of Mox.
but like the blood of Christ, it kind of like
Yeah.
heals us like that. Mox is a devout Catholic. I found that out. His book is pretty excellent. Mox and Danielson and Eddie Kingston, all devout Catholics. I did not know that about Brian, but apparently he is. So I guess the beast.
Oh, well, interesting.
Yeah. So anyway,
For me, like I grew up in Quebec, so I didn't have much of a choice because Quebec is like mono Catholic.
I
These
mean,
days, I don't even know what you want to say it because I'm not an atheist, but I haven't gone to church in a million years. So
lapsed Catholic,
non-denominational, I guess is the term.
non-denominational lapsed Catholic. I think
Yeah.
that's a term. I grew up Catholic. I'm not really in the church anymore because a couple things. You do a little research. Watch a couple movies. You guys will know that. But
Mm.
it's a holiday season, and my favorite part of the holiday season is, of course, dinner. So when you have your plate for Christmas, like your plate and your dessert, what's your Christmas party plate,
For me, it's almost always my aunt that deals with like the Christmas dinner stuff. So whatever she makes is
man?
what I eat, and I'm happy for it.
That's awesome, man. Whatever. But what is something that you have to have if you're gonna have a dessert for that? What is on your plate, and then what is your dessert? What are you hoping for?
If I can choose, I always like anything with turkey for the holidays, like any holiday basically.
Okay.
And well, okay, I don't. I'm basically a country bumpkin, so I don't got a rich flavor palette or nothing. So like for me, a bunch of turkey and a can of Coke was always kind of like the holiday things I would like.
Oh man, a can of Coke as your dessert. Do you have a specific
Like
dessert that you like?
I don't know. I grew up a hill. Like I didn't have many fancy things, right? Like to me, a can of Coke was special when I was a kid.
Yeah, a can of Coke, it should be your dessert. Just looking at the grams of sugar in it.
Yeah. Well, these days I definitely, if I have Coke, I have Diet Coke these days.
Mm.
Uh, Gotta keep the blood sugar down. That's what the doctor tells me.
Oh yeah, I myself,
Because
I'm
everyone in my family has the beatus, but me. I'm the only one who ever beat it. Now I want to keep it that way.
oh man, good for you, man. I myself, I'm part of the blood sugar line. I got the sugar. Acknowledge me. It's
Yeah.
it's it's honestly, yeah, it's a thing. This is why I ask people what they do. Yeah, man, this conversation is probably one of my favorite ones I've had so far on this show. Uh, as of this recording, because like usually I record and then these come out later. I have about 101 episodes out. So it's just like this sort of journey has been sort of weird because I've just been releasing episodes since like May of this year, but then I've been recording episodes since March. How often do you because like at this point, like I see you release like the video on the Video Game Awards, and then you just release a video on the Street Fighter trailer. How often do you have things in the can versus things that you put out like day of?
Really depends. The way I look at it is I usually take things not day at a time, but like week at a time. And I think what is going for the week. And some videos, like, Game Awards just happened. So, like,
Yeah.
in the last, I've had two videos in the last 24 hours for Game Awards. But things that are usually like more essay videos, like they're not about anything in the news or anything going on, but like here, like a lore video, or here's the history of this, or here's like a mechanic of a game from 20 years ago. Those I usually make and I let sit. And then when something is a slow week, then I post it.
That's awesome, man. I think I
So
have
like
a
say for upcoming, I'm
yeah.
not done the video yet, but I want to make a video. I'm like halfway done right now, but a video going over like the history of every archetype in fighting games,
Ooh,
including like the weird ones and the subgenre archetypes.
okay.
And
Can't wait for that
the
Voldo
next,
video.
yeah, well, it's just like an all rounder. Then Shoto is and it like if RPG terms, Shoto's an advanced class of an all rounder, or like
Yeah.
zoner. Then Dalsim's a limb zoner, which is a different kind of zoner, like that kind of
Oh yeah.
stuff. But I'm going to Florida next week for Holiday Matsuri,
Ooh,
and I'll be gone for a few days. So I'll have the video done before then. I'll post it while I'm in Florida, so there's still content flowing, right? That kind of idea.
that's nice, man. Where can I already told people where they can find you, but if people wanted to find you, where would they find you, man?
The best places to find me are twitter.com/rooflemonger and youtube.com/rooflemonger. I do stream occasionally. Like I'm talking like I average like a day a month. So one day it'll change and I'll stream more often. But if you want to tune in for one day a month, twitch.tv/rooflemonger as well.
Nice, man. And I end my shows with this question because it just shows me your true character. If there's a rainbow that appears out of the sky with a message from Rooflemonger, Michael, what do you want that to say, man?
I'm trying to think. Because you know what? The thing I would say, because this I think is just the most applicable, and maybe it's not the most feel good, but I think it's the one that would actually help the most people in the end,
Hmm,
is it would just say, just relax.
just relax. Oh man, lovely
Maybe not as
sentiment.
inspirational, but
Hey man, it works for me, man. Just relax. I'm so honored to have again the great Rooflemonger on here, joining me on the prescription. It's been a blast, and I usually end my shows with a bit of daily affirmations. I know you said you're not a believer, but this is not anything with religion.
well,
This is just good affirmations. I want to thank Rooflemonger and Michael here for coming and joining me and sharing this time with me, letting me bask in the glory of nostalgia from fighting games, the fighting community, and then connecting on this pro wrestling fandom that we both have. I want to thank Wolfemonger for coming here. I want to thank you for the show that you do, for the for all the entertainment that you've given me over the years, man. It's been great stuff over the last 8 years, and I just want to say keep going, man. You're doing great stuff, and I look forward to every video that comes out. Um, And whenever this comes out, I hope you'll cross that 500,000 mark sometime. But I absolutely loved having you here, man. It rules. Yeah, man.
oh, thank you very much. I don't know about 500K.
Okay,
That's
man.
only ever happened, I think, if I switch to like GTA 6 videos or something like that.
Oh man, I'm
But
just
I
believing in
appreciate it.
you. I'm believing in you.
Oh, you know what? I still remember the day that Bo knocked over El Torito. It's one of my favorite memories ever.
Oh man, that's one of that.
But yeah, thank you very much. The content will keep flowing. Next year is gonna be a banger year for fighting games.
Oh
We
yeah,
got Tokon, we got Invincible, we got Avatar. Hopefully the season
Avatar.
that fixes Tekken 8.
Yeah, Avatar really surprised people with that beta,
Yes.
man. That was such a good beta. Oh my
No, that's
God.
why you do betas, because Avatar, the word was middling to even bad before the beta, and now they have completely flipped the script on that, and now people are very excited for
Yeah.
Avatar.
And then I was able to at least play a couple of game of Invincible Versus. I like that game. That's
That's a fun game. At least for me, I don't know. Everyone has different learning processes. At least for me, it took me a little bit longer to get the hang of it than some. But now that I understand it, because there's a good amount of systems in it, it's a pretty complex game. But now that I
yeah.
get it, I think it's really fun.
I can't wait to when they release the roster. I want to play as Ellen the Alien That's the one guy I want to play as because that's the guy that I've been a
You
mark for in
gotta
the.
assume he's there. You gotta,
You
because like,
have to.
they have announced now 18 characters at launch, and they've only shown like 9 or something like that so far.
Yeah.
So, and plus the new one they showed at the Game Awards. So there's still a lot of people they got the show yet.
Yeah, Alan. I'm hoping for Alan. He's been a big part of like the Amazon push of them. Like even in episode one,
Yeah,
he's the guy that's been talking about it. So it'd be weird not to
as
put him in
someone,
there.
yeah, as someone, I'm also a big comic fan, by the way. As someone who's read all the original comic, the Amazon show is actually so much better than the comic, like
It
ridiculously
is.
so.
It is like the voice. They are so lucky they have the cast they have because Walton Goggins. He's my favorite character actor because I love Uncle Baby Billy. Um, yeah, Walton Goggins. You got J.K. Simmons. Uh,
Yep.
you got Steve Yeun. That's an incredible. Just those three, man. And then you have like those. It's just an incredible cast. And Seth Rogen is good as Alan the Alien. You know, say what you will about his Pumbaa, but I'm just looking for. That's one of the games that I'm looking for because like with Invisible Versus and with Avatar, it was two games that people didn't play that they just sort of judged on like what's been released. But now after actually getting my hands on them, I'm just excited. 2026 is going to be an awesome year. Um, you know, I'm hoping I'll be able to get to this episode before all those games come out so that this will come out and sound more sort of topical. But yeah, man, thank you for coming on here, sharing your pro wrestling wisdom, sharing your pro wrestling fandom, sharing your fighting game aficionado-ness with me. This has been amazing, man. Thank you again. This is the prescription. Happy 2026 to everyone. And
And thank you
again,
for having me.
yeah, welcome.
Been dreaming of you. Please hold me tight. 'Cause I can't love the way that I feel. I just can't in the night. You took my heart. Now, baby.